Today, we are going to study the difference between observational studies versus experimentation with the help of an example. So let's get started with observational studies. So in observational studies, we have researchers who want to know whether smoking is linked to lung disease. So over here, what the researchers will do is like they will select 10,000 people in random, and out of this 10,000 people, there would be like few smokers and few non-smokers. So researchers will simply observe the pattern over a period of say like 10 years for this 10,000 people, and after 10 years they will see like out of these smokers and non-smokers how many of them have lung related diseases. Here the researchers are not interfering in any way. They are simply observing the pattern or the data or observing the people out there. After 10 years they see a pattern. The more you smoke, the chances of lung disease is more. So this simply says like there is an association between smoking and lung disease, but we can't say in this particular case that smoking causes lung disease. Why? Because here in this particular case there could be other factors involved like genetics or air pollution in that particular area, which can also cause the lung disease. So we can simply say like smoking causes lung disease in this case, but we do find like there is an association between smoking and lung disease. To know whether there is causation between smoking and lung disease, we have to look into experimentation way of study, which we'll study next. So in summary, in the observational study, researchers do not control or interfere in the study. They only watch and record, and this observational study can only reveal association or relationship between variables. This is very important. It can only reveal association or relationship between variables, and it cannot prove cause and effect, as many other factors may influence the outcome, which we saw in this example. Next, we will look into experimentational study. Let's look into experimental study next. So in experimental study, researchers want to know whether a new drug reduces the heart attack risks. So what they do to know the efficacy of a new drug, they will hire around 10,000 recruits. Now they will divide these 10,000 recruits into two groups. Say group A has 5,000 recruits and group B has 5,000 recruits. Which person should go to group A and which person should go to group B is purely random. By random, it means like they will toss a coin. If a coin is per head, then they will put the recruits into group A. If the coin is tail, they will put the recruit to group B. This randomization plays a very important role, which I will explain in later part. Once these 10,000 recruits have been divided into group A and group B, group A will receive the real new drug that they have created, and the group B will be given a placebo or drug. Placebo is basically a fake drug. Neither the person of the group A nor the person in the group B will get to know whether they have received the the real new drug or a placebo drug, but the researchers know which of the persons have been exposed to the real new drug and which of the person have received a fake placebo drug. Now they will monitor the health of the people in group A and health of the people in group B for 1 year. After 1 year, the researchers will look into the results and will reach to some conclusion. So if the group A has fewer heart attacks as compared to group B, researchers can conclude that the new drug is effective and can reduce the heart attack risks. So here in this particular case, the drug causes reduction in heart attack risks. So the key term over here is like causation. This drug causes reduction in heart attack risks. In observational study, it was association. Here it is causation. This drug is a direct cause for the reduction in heart attack risks. So let's summarize these things that we studied over here. So in experimentational study, what we understood is here there is a direct interference by the researchers. Researchers actively assign treatments to subjects. In this particular case, there was a real drug versus the placebo drug. So here the researchers control who gets what. But again, like it's a randomized experimentation. So they randomly assign the treatments to the users in the experiment. So it's a randomized experimentation, and randomized experimentation plays a very important role. I think this will require a separate video to explain this thing. So we will cover this up in a separate video. Finally, causation. It can show causation because randomized experimentation removes the effective of confounding variables. So we will understand this thing, the concept of what is confounding variables and how the effects are removed in a separate video. And we'll also understand the concept of randomized experimentation in a separate video. But for now, the only difference between the experimentation and the observational study is here there is a direct interference of the researchers, while in observational studies there is no direct interference. They simply observe what is present. And the second thing is like there is a randomized experimentation that is being done over here, and there is a direct causation. The output or the outcome of this kind of experimental study involves direct causation. So it can show causation because randomized experimentation removes the effect of confounding variables. We'll cover these things in our next upcoming video. Thank you.